Hello, my name is Blake Higginbotham. Welcome to Home Family Gathering, where everyone has a place at the table in the Father's house. Thank you for joining us today. We're looking forward to connecting, communicating, corroborating, and collaborating with you. Remember this, you are loved, blessed, and highly favored. Answer that yet. Hold on to that thought. Why is it that when we start saying no to fear, all of a sudden we start having more opportunities to fear? Write that down and take a note of it. I'm not talking about a cry of distance. This is the expression of relationship. You are not outside trying to get in anymore. You are inside learning how to live there. Number 7, living from rest, the end of internal pressure. And man, I'll tell you what, I don't know about you, but I have had some internal pressure as of late. And there is no amount of denying it. The only thing that you can do is you can remind yourself to live from rest. That this internal pressure, stress, anxiety, whatever it is that's coming against your mind, you need to be able to remind yourself that I am not going to abide with this anymore. I'm not living in this way anymore. I'm living from rest. Rest is not inactivity, it's settled identity. As it is written, come to me, and I will give you rest. That's in red letters in most Bibles. Matthew 11:28, Yeshua said it, come unto me, all you that are burdened or heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Striving comes from uncertainty. Rest flows from clarity. Did you hear me? Striving comes from uncertainty. Rest flows from clarity. When you know who you are, where you stand, what has been established, you stop striving and you start or begin living from there. You stop striving. We're no longer struggling with Yahweh. It is finished. We're living out of the finished work, and we're living from rest. Number 8, perfect love, the removal of fear. Fear does not leave through effort. It leaves through revelation. As it is written, perfect love casts out fear. 1 John 4, verses 18. Fear is not rooted in the expectation. Listen, fear is rooted in the expectation of punishment. Love is rooted in the assurance of relationship. When love becomes real, fear loses its place. Number 9, union, life in Him. You are not living for Yahweh, you are living in Him. As it is written, the one who joins himself to the Lord is one spirit with Him. 1 Corinthians 6:17 says, union is not something you achieve, it is something you become aware of. And from that awareness, life changes. Not only have we awakened to sonship, we're becoming aware of what that means. Number 10, authority. Identity expressed. Authority is not something you take, it's something that flows from identity. I don't have to walk around taking authority anymore. I just have to walk around in who I am, and it represents authority to the spirit realm and those in my life. If you don't believe me, walk with me for a while. As it is written, let them rule. In Genesis 1:26, fear suppresses authority. Identity releases it. When you know who you are, you begin to walk differently. Number 11, the ecclesia, family of sons. Family of sons. The ecclesia is not an institution. It is a living organism. It is a family of sons. As it is written, you are a chosen family. 1 Peter 2:9 in the Legacy Standard Bible says, this is not about attendance. It is about alignment, not about structure alone, but about relationship. Number 12, manifestation, the kingdom revealed. The kingdom is not something you produce, it's something you reveal. As it is written, the revealing of the sons of God. That's what we're waiting for, the revealing of the sons of God. The apocalypsis. We want an apocalypto, but we want the apocalypsis of the sons, the revealing of the sons. Romans 8, verse 19. When sons live from identity, the kingdom becomes visible. In other words, when we live from our identity as sons, people see something different than the religion of Christianity. They see the kingdom. 13, maturity, the fullness of sonship. Sonship is not static, it matures. That is written to a mature man, Ephesians 4:13. That's just an excerpt from the passage, but that's where we're going, to a mature man, to a weos that looks like him. Now, why do you think people would still get mad over that reality if you said that? Whenever the scripture's very clear, that is the expression and the image we're supposed to represent. Maturity is stability, consistency, clarity. Can you see how stability, consistency, and clarity might make people feel uncomfortable or even intimidate them and those who don't know who they are? Can you fathom that for a minute? Not perfection, but alignment that no longer shifts. Conclusion. The life without fear. This is the invitation, not to manage fear, but to leave it. Not to strive for identity, but to live from it. Not to pursue distance, but listen, but to walk in union. Anything that you have to manage is going to it'll be something that you manage in your flesh or your soul, coping with it. Anything you're striving over concerning your identity is based on a not knowing, not being fully aware. Anything that you pursue from a distance is because you're not real clear that the Lord really loves you or has and you have not received the full embrace of his love and forgiveness. Anything that creates separation is darkness, and it is a lie. Now think about that statement. Anything that creates separation and distance is darkness and a lie, because you can get lost walking around in the dark, not knowing where things are at. And it's written, for God has not given us a spirit of fear. So if you've got a spirit of fear working on you, what is that? 2 Timothy 1:7. You were never meant to live cautiously before Yahweh. You were meant to walk confidently with him. You were never designed to strive for what has already been given. You were invited to live from it. And listen to this. And what fear has tried to keep uncertain, sonship has already made clear. This is the call. Say no. Everybody say no. no to fear, and yes to sonship. No to fear, and yes to sonship, and live from the reality that has already been established, because the truth is simple. You are a son. Now, I want to make that plural. We are sons. And sons do not live from fear, they live from the kingdom. And from that place, everything changes. Now, back to the question that I posed at the first part of this teaching. Did anybody happen to write that down or remember it? Because I didn't. I didn't have time to write it down or remember it. Thank you for joining us today. You are always welcome. And until next time, this is Blake Higginbotham with Home Family Gathering. You can find all of my books and music at www.books.blh.me and www.musicbyblh.me. Blessings to you and your household and family.
Home Family Gathering is a listener-supported ministry and we appreciate your support. Apostolic Kingdom Alliance and Blake Higginbotham are supported by the generous contributions of friends and family. We are grateful for your continued support in the ongoing work of Apostolic/Kingdom Ministry. Thank you.